Hello everyone, it's your girl Christina. 2022 is literally tomorrow. I've been running around like crazy setting up for a little housewarming New Year's Eve party we're having at our place, just a couple of friends and family. So I'm glad I can squeeze in some time to edit and post one more video in 2021. So here is my January bullet journal setup. I'm lining with a Micron Pen 02. I went for a thinner nib to get a more refined and realistic drawing. I find the thicker the nib, the more cartoonish it looks. The theme for this month is Polaroids, inspired by the two Polaroid cameras I own, the Instax Mini 9 that many of you are familiar with. It prints the small rectangular Polaroids, and then I also own the Fujifilm Instax Square SQ1 instant camera that prints a square looking Polaroid, which I'm currently drawing for my monthly cover page. I took a picture of my cat Banana and I'm using the Polaroid to trace. So these Polaroid drawings are true to size. I decided to do this because Polaroids aren't perfectly squared, but they're not completely straight. There's a bit of a round edge in the corners. So if you don't have a Polaroid camera to take a photo or an actual Polaroid for reference, just make the very tip of the corner slightly rounded and you'll get that realistic Polaroid look. The Polaroid from SQ1, even though it's a square, is smaller than the original Model 95, which came out in 1948, but still has that nostalgia factor. I know this photo of Banana is black and white, but right now all I have is black and white Polaroids. You can also purchase Polaroids that print in color. Now, Polaroids as a theme for a bullet journal isn't new. I do have a faint memory of seeing Amanda Rach Lee create one, and I've seen others do the same. However, I can't remember what it looks like. I didn't want to see anyone else's Polaroid-inspired spreads, afraid that I might recreate it from memory, thinking it's my original idea, but who knows? It might be a reasonably similar spread. I mean, how creative can you get with a Polaroid? Or at least that's what I thought. If anything, you can have a lot of fun designing the borders of the Polaroids. So Polaroids come in different designs, sometimes with polka dots or bright colors. They don't only sell white, but I figured that's what I'd have fun with in this spread. As you can see, I'm using a handful of passion markers. If you're familiar with my channel, I talk a lot about Passion Planner, which is where I started my planning journey. I decided to use their markers because it's very light and almost has a pastel look, which is precisely what I'm going for. But then I'm using the zebra mild liners, which partner up perfectly as a darker and more saturated version. So I'm using the passion marker first, coloring the whole border, and then going in with the zebra mild liners. The pattern that I'm recreating reminds me of a 70s wavy design. It's super fun and a more colorful spread than I'm used to doing. I did color the backgrounds of the Polaroid, but I'm not feeling this look. It feels really busy. So you'll see later on, I'm gonna fix this. but I did want to add a real photo for the time being. I'm using the Instax mini link printer to print out an old image from the 70s. This photo is actually a picture of my dad and my uncle. My dad is on the right side holding a puppy. I could have picked out a 70s photo stock image, something off Google, which would have been super colorful and probably the right vibe, but I thought printing one of a family member would be more personal. For my monthly overview, I'm drawing a giant Polaroid. I'm not sure what happened, but my calendar is a bit off. Each day is 5 boxes in height and 3 in length, but I must have mismeasured because the top row for January 1st and 2nd are only 3 by 3. It's okay. It doesn't look too terrible, but I'm pretty good at checking my work and measurements. Anytime I'm creating like my habit trackers and I'm writing out every single day of the month, I always double check so that I don't mess up the entire thing. As I set that up, I just thought of how funny it is to see pictures of your parents when they were babies, because as I was growing up, I saw my parents as my parents, and I couldn't imagine them any younger, especially a teenager. I feel like that age, we just don't think our parents understand us at all. But I love my parents, and even though they're far from perfect, they have a lot to be proud of. But it's just so innocent and humbling to realize that your parents were once children themselves. If you all watched my Vlogmas episode, I think it was episode 3, my family and I went to Enchanted, which was this Christmas winter wonderland. And there's a point in the vlog when my mom is recording. She's not taking photos, she's recording a full-on video of the entire time we're walking through this maze. My sister and I tease her all the time because she is always documenting any and every family outing. We could be running errands and she'll still want to take a photo. She's even accidentally started a Facebook Live and we had no idea. But yeah, sometimes it can get annoying because there's just times I'm not in the mood to take a photo. But I realized that the reason she does that is she doesn't have any baby photos of herself. It's kind of sad. I don't know what my mom looked like as a baby. My mom's family didn't have much money growing up, so having a camera back in the 70s was a luxury. I think the youngest I've seen my mom is when she's a teenager. So, now when she whips her camera out, I know she's doing that for us, so we have photos to look back on. My weekly setup is quite different. On the right side, I took my X-Acto blade and took a little bit off the top and the side. I even gave myself a tab. I'm going for this Dutch door weekly setup with 2 days per page. I'm giving myself a lot of room for each day's to-do list. I want to start the year productively. I'm going back to the quote page and fixing the Polaroids. Like I said earlier, it's just too colorful and I don't know, it just doesn't feel like a cohesive theme. I like color, but then there needs to be a sense of minimalism. I don't know if that makes any sense. Sounds like a contradiction, but I feel like anytime I add a lot of color, it also needs to be minimal. So I'm taking a white piece of paper from my Archer and Olive notepad and cutting precisely what I need to cover the inside of the Polaroid. Funny story, when I shot this video, it was really late at night. So when I covered up the quotes, I couldn't remember what I wrote for the quote, which was, "Trust your vibes, energy never lies." Yep, it was really late. I could not think of what I wrote. So instead, I wrote "one day at a time," which are the perfect words I need to hear to start the new year. I hope you all found inspiration in this bullet journal spread. As a reminder, if you recreate it, you can make up a design or recreate an existing one that Fujifilm produces. You can change up the colors, the same exact design, but change up the colors. But most importantly, have fun with this one. I most definitely did. Sending you all lots of love as we enter 2022. Everyone be extra safe tonight, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.